Welcome back to my second video detailing some of the things that I do here in the office. If you'll remember, I told you a little about a special project that I did with the international department here. God has really blessed that. That has been an exciting thing that we have done. My partner Nick and I also did one for international that was a parenting program for the Ukraine. And this was probably 6 or 8 years ago. And that program in the Ukraine took off, and God just used it in a tremendous way. Through the years, we have had counseling resources, counselors, and organizations on our website. We've also had a handful of articles, and we provide those so that people that come to us seeking help in counseling, which we do not offer here in the office, we would have some way to help them identify a counselor. As time went on, once we had decided as a ministry how we wanted to fit into the biblical counseling arena, which is, not biblical counseling, the Christian counseling arena, which is quite large. You have everything from psychologists on the one hand to pastors on the other. And everything that you can imagine in between. Well, after a 2-year study, we decided that biblical counseling and the biblical counseling movement that has arisen in this country was where we wanted to be, because it fit our paradigm here in the office. And our rule of thumb here at Family Life is it must be biblical and it must be practical. Now, those in balance is ideal, but we don't always have resources. We don't always have materials that are exactly 50-50. But that's our paradigm. And so in a real sense, we wanted a counseling program that would be biblical and practical. And as we did this study for 2 years, we found out that biblical counseling really does parallel what we try to do with our resources here in the office at Family Life. After we landed that ship and we made that decision, we began to explore how do we vet counselors. How do we decide who needs to be on our list and who doesn't need to be on our list? Because this is a public document. It's on the internet. Anybody can access it. In fact, just the quick commercial note here, if you go to our website, www.familylife.com, and on the home page, you'll see a banner at the top, which are menu items. If you'll click the very second one, it looks like the first one, but it's really number 2. It's Find Help. That goes immediately to our counseling data and our content there. And you will find articles, and you will find a list of counselors by state, and you will find a list of national organizations that we are friends with, that are friends with the ministry, and that we tell people this is a place you ought to call if you're in crisis in your marriage or family. Pardon me. As we developed this list, we also developed a system of vetting, and they fill out a questionnaire that we send to them. They respond to documents that are on our website. They respond to our Family Manifesto, which is our statement of faith, and we find out where they are in relation to our understanding of counseling, Christian counseling, and in particular biblical counseling. We're not asking all these people to become and be quote-unquote biblical counselors, but we are asking them, do you agree with our positions on counseling and on the place of the church and on the place of the Bible and on the place of God, the Holy Spirit, etc., and so on? Do they share some of our convictions, which are your conviction on marriage, on family, on divorce, on abortion, on euthanasia, pornography, and all these different kind of things? Do they agree with us? And if they do, then we entertain a process to interview and have conferences with them, and then list them on our website. So we do have a vetting process. I must tell you that we don't approve, quote unquote, or recommend any counselor, but we have vetted them to find out where they are in relation to where we are. And that's why they're on our list. Some of them are good friends of ours. That meaning that we have had an extensive relationship with them, and if they're on our list, especially if they're on our national list, it's because we have an extensive relationship with them. And if we were sending somebody from our office, from FamilyLife, a family or a couple needed help, we would go to one of these people that's on our national list, and we'd say, would you call this group in St. Louis or that group in Branson, Missouri, or wherever, or there's one in Dallas, Texas. The other part of that is the articles that you see on our website. Do you need a Christian counselor? Do you need conflict coaching before you get counseling? Those are articles that I wrote to try to clarify some of the questions that are brought to us. And people would ask questions like, how do I know I need counseling? Or, they would ask questions, and as we would explore with them, find out they really didn't need counseling. They needed somebody to walk them through some intense discipleship in their marriage. So those articles are written to try to respond to those questions, and I wrote those, and so that content is there directly from my hand, be it good or bad or otherwise, it's there. The last thing that I do, and have done quite extensively since 2009, is we have calls and emails that come to our office, and they come through various departments, and they coming into FamilyLife. And many of those, our staff said, well, I can't just pray with them and give them a Bible verse and let go. The need is much greater, and so those calls and emails and things are referred to me. And for right now, I am the one go-to person that takes those, and I will spend, whatever time is necessary over an hour or days or weeks, and in some cases months, investing in these people to try to get them to a place where they have hope. They've begun to work on their issues, and if necessary, see if we can help them find a local counselor that they can continue this process for months if necessary. Well, I'm already hit the 7-minute mark, a little over that, so I'm going to stop here, and then we'll do a third installment later. And God bless.